festive greetings, everybody, live from Forest Side Cookery School. I am delighted to welcome you to the Chartered Accountants Ulster Society Christmas Cook Along. Often we are in person, but tonight we are still going to bring you a fantastic event with our star baker, Suzie Lee Arbuthnot, our fellow member, and we're so proud of her. She obviously earlier this year won the BBC's Best Home Cook competition with Mary Berry, and then went on to have her own series, Suzie Lee Home Cook Heroes. Now, why am I here, might you ask? I am obviously a fellow member, an Ulster Society member, staff member of Chartered Accountants Ireland, but what maybe you don't know is Suzie and I go way back to the Ulster Society Student Society days, where we both were at the helm of that society. So the dynamic duo are reunited, and really I'm here to keep an eye on her. I'm the only one who's ever been able to tame her. So we are going to have a bit of fun with a really festive menu for you this evening. So Suzie, over to you. Tell us a bit about this amazing menu.
So tonight you are going to be making these beautiful Christmas sausage rolls. So we've got flecks of cranberry, which gives it that kind of Christmas feel, along with sage. So it's a stuffing pretty much within our sausage roll. But I'm going to start the poll now. This is for the food heaven and food hell for Sinead. Oh, let's start with hell first. So these are my smoked salmon phyllo pastry tartlets. They are so delicious, but Sinead's not really a fan of fish, but you know, they are good. So maybe we can convince her with the poll. Or her food heaven, which is brownies. And these are your leftover chocolates. This is a box, well, not all the box, 2 handfuls of celebrations. You could use miniature heroes, you can use anything, but those are your favourite, aren't they?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So this is one of my recipes of leftover use, you know, that kind of thing. And I have lots of those kind of recipes because there's so much leftovers in there at Christmas.
Absolutely.
So that's a good way to use that up. So start the poll. I think it's being started now. So vote. You can be cruel. You could be nice.
Be kind.
Be kind.
Folks,
start voting. So
maybe what we should say, Suze, is in terms of timing this evening, we will be making that sausage rolls. That's a sure thing. But depending on how you vote is what Suze is going to make as the second dish, because that's what timing's going to permit. And I mean, look at those brownies. Like, who wouldn't want to see those brownies being made live in action? They're so good. I have my own portion and I am looking forward to them. So I'm just showcasing them because I think you could be heavily influenced to vote for the brownies. My heaven, please. Right, Suze, back to you to get stuck into action.
Right, guys, so as you have now got the recipe in front of you, hopefully you've prepped as much of the ingredients as that I have given you on your list. So I'm going to wing them all out. You've got your onions, you've got your breadcrumbs, your sage, some black pepper, then you've got your eggs and your milk, your sausage meat, and I've set a little bit of water and I'll talk you through that. And then for the glaze, we've got an egg and then poppy seeds. So super simple. We're going to get our frying pan started and we're going to soften up the onions. And if you were smart enough, you could have done that ahead, but just want to make this as live and real as we can. So get your frying pan on, a little bit of oil just to get it started. Get your, apologies, I do always have a fight with induction hobs, so if I zone out for a while, it's because I'm having a fight with this.
Well, I can see other people maybe having fights with their cookers. It's great. We're all in the same boat here, folks. It's great to see you cooking along.
Brilliant. So what I want you to do is just put it in and just fry these off. Don't let them burn. Let them come up and you just want them translucent. You want them nice and soft, but not burnt. So Sinead can keep talking if
I
you want.
will keep talking indeed. Now, folks, I want to see you all in action. So I see some kitchens in the background there. So I hope everybody's off to a good start. Have we got any questions so far? Happy when Susie's getting things all progressed. To take a couple of questions, feel free now to put the hands up. We can take you off mute. We can welcome you and make this as interactive as we can. Anybody brave enough to come on, show us how you're getting on?
Yeah. So one of my tips is a pinch of salt.
Ooh.
Okay? And this helps to speed up the cooking process. And it just does. It helps to just, as you can hear, make the onions start to cook a lot quicker. And then a little splash of water, yet again, it helps to soften them down and just speed up the whole process. So there
Is
it is.
that cold
bubbling.
water, Suze, just?
Cold water, hot water, it doesn't really matter because
Okay.
it's starting to bubble away here. So just keep tossing it around because you don't want it to burn. But once they get that nice kind of translucent colour, we will move that to a side. But I'm going to lower this heat so we can move on to the next stage. So if you get a large mixing bowl now, and here's one I prepared earlier.
Convenient.
Yep. So in your mixing bowl, we'll want to wing in your breadcrumbs, the sage, and a large pinch of black pepper. I kind of like them slightly spicy, but you can vary that. I don't add salt to this because I've already added a small pinch here. But if you do like salt, then go ahead. But otherwise, I think there's more than enough.
Do you need to add any other spices or anything into that, or?
Well, there was the sage,
Yeah.
and then there was a pinch of black pepper. Then you've got your breadcrumbs, and then
Cool.
just your sausage
Okay.
meat. That's it, okay? So you're just literally tossing that in, okay? And then my kind of key ingredients, like most stuffings have, are eggs, but I add milk. And this is actually a top tip from Angela Hartnett when I was on the show. This actually keeps the stuffing really moist. So this stuffing actually I would use for my actual Christmas stuffing. I have shoved it into puff pastry to make sausage rolls, but this keeps it really nice and moist, and it really doesn't dry it out, and it just adds to it. So put those in. So that's it. That is your base of your stuffing. Once these onions soften down, then we can add those in. But if you don't have time to chop up onions and all that kind of stuff, you could actually use onion granules, and that gives it the flavour as well. Some people don't actually like the texture of onions, but I do like the flavour of onions, so onion granules or onion powder, perfect substitution.
And you would just add that in as you would
So
the
like,
actual onions?
to be honest, yeah, so I would add 2 teaspoons.
Okay. Super stuff.
Yeah, but I kind of like the texture of this. Some people don't, but I do. So this will just take another couple of minutes. I slowed it down a bit, so that's it.
It's
So
looking good. It's smelling good anyway, so I hope anybody cooking along is benefiting from the lovely aromas that we
Yeah.
are here.
So what you can do is, if you're allowing those to simmer away, we can move on to getting out your puff pastry. So hopefully, if you don't have the pre-rolled stuff, it makes it a lot easier. Or I've given you the recipe of my really quick and easy puff pastry. It really is simple. The key thing is just grated butter, frozen butter, and that speeds up the whole process. And you can make rough puff pastry at home. I've said to use a food processor, but you don't need to. If you can grate it and use your fingertips to rub it into the flour, it's kind of like a scone mixture at the very start, and then you add a water, and then you make a dough, and then you fold in the grated butter. It looks really excessive, but puff pastry is delicious. It's meant to be luxurious. It's meant to be slightly bad. So just go with it. Okay, so I'm just going to let that simmer away. I'm going to lift up my puff pastry. Okay, so pre-rolled, and I'm just going to flatten it out here and juggle my hidden shelves underneath here, so hopefully you're able to see that. So that's one large sheet of puff pastry. I'm going to roll it out slightly more widthwise because I just want to make it stretch.
And is that one you made yourself, Suze, or is that
no,
one that you bought?
That's one I bought because
Okay.
if you don't have time, especially at Christmas,
Of course.
you know, just buy it. It is really cheap now, and because it's around Christmas, they're actually all on offer.
And is that like just roll, or would it,
Yeah, so there's just roll, there's
Yeah.
this one is a Galbraith or Galbert's. I think
Okay.
that's a local brand.
Sure.
So yeah, there's loads of different varieties out there, but it's all on offer because it's Christmas. So you could buy the ingredients to make my puff pastry, but you'll end up making about 6 blocks with the equivalent. So why not for this to just buy the pre-rolled? So I'm just literally stretching it out just a little bit more.
And what's that on? Is that baking
So the
paper?
baking parchment.
Okay.
I love baking parchment because if you actually buy greaseproof, some people may or may not know that greaseproof you actually have to grease. I know it sounds really bit silly, but
Oh.
it's in the name. Otherwise, it goes on fire if you put it in too if you don't have a...
That's not good.
No.
That's not recommended.
Yeah, so that's why you have to grease it.
Okay.
So things don't stick to it. So baking paper already has like a silicone kind of layer to it, and it prevents it from sticking.
Every day is a school day.
Exactly. So I have rolled that out.
And is that bottom and top that you're using that exact same paper? You know that you're
yes,
rolling over
yes,
the top?
yes, yes. So that was the one that came with the puff pastry
Yeah, of
already,
course.
and then I just added another one. Right.
Sure.
So my onions are done.
How's everybody getting on at home? Any comments or questions or any feedback at all so far, folks? Give us a wave there. Let us know you're getting on okay. Happy days.
Super.
Is that wine I see in the background? I'm jealous. I'm driving.
Excellent. So with
Feeling
your
festive.
onions, be careful. It is piping hot. You could leave these for 5 minutes to let it cool, but literally I'm just going to wing them in. Okay, so...
I can't even help you, Suze, by taking away your dirty dishes because of
No.
COVID. And whoopsie, you have to do it all yourself.
Exactly. It's okay. So you're literally just digging in now, and I actually have asbestos hands, so I'm actually going to dig in. Be careful, really do, but I'm okay with just doing this. My
In
hands.
terms of the heat,
In
yeah,
terms of heat, so
you're
they're really, really hot. but
immune to it at this
I am
stage.
completely immune to
Okay,
it.
so be careful. Word of warning: don't try this at home if you're sensitive to heat.
Yeah, so literally, also if you have sensory issues, probably not so good to use your hands, but use a wooden spoon and you'll be absolutely fine. So
And do you find this is just for quickness, you know, or you're just well used to it at this stage? You're happy to get stuck in.
happy to get stuck in. So there you go. And then my final bit is my cranberries to add in. So I'm going to give this a good mix first.
And then cranberries go in next.
Yeah, and
Happy.
that's the Christmas kind of
Yeah, of
feel to
course.
it then. So this is well mixed. Make sure everything's combined. There's no large lumps of breadcrumbs or the
And
sausage
that's just
meat.
a folding action you're doing there, yeah.
Yeah, like you can just smush it. I know
Smush it,
there's no
smush.
technical kind of term to this or sort of wording to this, but that's it.
Smush is good.
Smush.
Suze.
Yeah. So finally, I've got my cranberries. So this is just 2 large handfuls. You can buy them in any supermarket or health food store. So literally just put them in. Okay.
You don't need to do anything prior to that? You didn't
No,
add
like,
anything?
nope,
or
I didn't add
soak
anything.
or-
Nope, not soaked at all. All I have done is actually chop them up even finer with a pair of scissors.
Okay.
But some people quite like the chunky cranberries through it. So just keep it like that. And there you go. You just want a good kind of mix, and you want it to be speckled throughout.
Sure.
And it really isn't that technical. So, within minutes, you have made a lovely stuffing. So, as I said, this is the stuffing I make for Christmas. And I literally put it into a baking tin, and off I go. And that's it. Super easy, and I make this in advance.
And do you have that with your Christmas dinner?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Lovely.
Yeah, so it's super easy, super tasty, but I thought why not add it to some puff pastry to make it even worse.
You cannot go wrong with puff pastry in your life.
Exactly. So, since your hand is already dirty, I am going to put 2 kind of rolls of stuffing here and space them out. So, I'll explain to you. So, you're wanting one to go to one edge. Okay.
So there's no particulars around this. This is just grab
Just
and
grab.
feed it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can use your wooden spoon, but it's easy to then mold then. So these are not dainty sausage rolls in any shape or form. These are Suzie size, Suzie portion kind of ones. And what you want to do is you want to have a gap at either end. So my madness will
I can
make
imagine though the
sense.
accountants of Suze will want to get the ruler out and make
Yeah,
this symmetrical.
So yeah, well that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to have about an inch on either side, and then I will show you.
Measure to the eye. Love it.
Yes, measure to the eye. And what you're wanting to do is just making sure that you have even-ish. You could be really particular and you can weigh out the ingredients and make sure that you've got exactly the same amount on each side. But if you want to make these as pretty much wee canapes for Christmas and make them really dainty, cut this into 4, that kind of thing, and make them even smaller, thinner, prettier sausage rolls. As you can tell, these are giant, monster, kind of hearty All my food is pretty much really hearty, really just wholesome. That's the word I kind of like to use. But that's it. You've got 2 logs of sausage meat. I'm going to now wash my hands in my trusty sink underneath here.
They look really good and they smell really good. And actually, I have to say, she's got them pretty much even from where I'm standing. So you've did this before, I think, Suze?
Do you think?
I think she's did this before.
Thank you. Okay, so
What's next?
what's next is that we cut in half. So yet again, let's be symmetrical about this. So I am gauging about here.
Okay.
And literally you're slicing down the middle. So there you go. You've got 2 sausage rolls pretty much formed now. I'm going to get my baking tin. Okay. And what you're wanting to do now is get your egg. Hadn't beaten this, but literally beat your egg and get a pastry brush, or if you don't have a pastry brush at home, don't worry, use a bit of kitchen roll. It's just as handy. So you're literally brushing one edge just so that this sticks, and then the other edge. Okay. Right. Yet again, you're just going to have to grab this. So I am doing a roll and then fold, and you're wanting the ends of the pastry to meet.
Oh, so rather than a tuck, it's a meet, a join?
It's a join.
A join, okay.
So, right, so then if you can see that, then you've got 2 like that. Then we're going to do the same. We're going to do a roll, and then you're going to meet the 2 sides. Okay, and I'm going to move this onto this.
Okay.
Right, okay, and then you're just going to sort of mold it into shape. Okay. And there you go. 2 very much identical.
Can I
kind of
leave you
sausage
to
rolls.
do that? Because I
Yep.
think we have a question coming in.
Oh,
Do we have a
excellent.
question from John? John, are you happy to speak? What would you like to ask our chef or extraordinaire?
Yes, so put the eggs and the milk into your sausage roll mix, the 2 eggs. The other single egg is for glazing. No, don't panic. And
Oh, we
always
can
oh,
see
look,
you
that's
now, the
amazing.
festive hat. Oh, I
That's
can see
amazing.
you now. Amazing, John. Loving your work.
Okay, so
Brilliant. He's back on track.
perfect. So you can, I like to have baking parchment on this, so I literally transfer, or you can directly put it onto your tin. It is up to you. It genuinely will not stick because
Okay.
there's enough buttery goodness which makes it not stick. So transferring them over, it really is as simple as that. Try to make this nice and easy.
And just tuck that down
Yeah.
and then make it tidy. Okay.
Just make it tidy, just so everything cooks evenly. Okay, and I'll just move them more to the middle. Right, this is the fun bit, the decorating bit.
Ooh.
And let me get a trusty fork.
Good old fork.
Yeah. Oops.
What would you do
Okay.
without it?
I know. So you could trim this off really nice and neatly if you want. I don't like waste, so I literally just allow that lovely extra bit of puff pastry because I love pastry. Really do. So you're literally just crimping the edges. Really simple. And this is just to make sure that it doesn't unstick itself. Otherwise, the stuffing middle will dry out a little bit. So you just want to make sure it's really
So it's rather
well
than
done.
to secure it, it's to prevent drying out then?
Both,
Okay.
both,
Okay.
because you're securing it by doing this because you've got an egg wash underneath, so it's just sticking the pieces
Sure.
of pastry, and now you're just pressing it down to make sure.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the bit where I really like doing because you're giving it a really nice design. You can do loads of things. You can go straight across, and what you want to do is just literally cut into the sausage meat.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can do diagonals. You can do whatever design you like, but I kind of like diagonals because it just makes it look pretty. So literally, you're just getting your knife, and you're literally exposing a little bit of
So that's just
sausage.
literally a slight tear just to go
literally
down.
just so you can. This also allows the sausage meat to kind of breathe because
Okay.
if You don't, well, not that it doesn't cook through, it really does, but it steams, and sometimes it's got too much moisture in there, and therefore it makes it soggy. You don't want a soggy sausage roll.
No.
So you just cut it through.
Is there a too many slits, or just do it to
No,
your aesthetics taste?
Your aesthetic taste, but also if you want, this also gives you portion control in a sense, that kind of thing. If you need that.
I'd say, Suze, you could just set that log at home on your table.
Exactly. I can actually finish that, and I have. Maybe that's not a good thing to admit. I have eaten one whole one before.
We're all friends here, Suze.
Yes, absolutely.
We're all the Chartered family.
I deem this as a pie, and this is like a pie, a whole pie for me. But there you go, all done. Then we do the pretty ending. So we have an egg wash and some poppy seeds. Some people mightn't like poppy seeds, so you could use sesame seeds, or you could use nothing, but definitely glaze it because it just gives it that really crisp and golden kind of feel. If you don't want to use egg, or you've ran out of eggs, you can also do an egg wash.
And is that what you used earlier to seal that? Or that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
we're just continuing with that.
Yep,
Super.
continuing with that. So literally you're just painting it on
All over.
all over.
What about the underneath? That
No,
that you were fine?
because with the underneath part, it is directly on the tin, so the heat will seal that, and you will get a really nice crisp base. So
Okay.
if you want to make
Super.
these in advance, you can. You can even at this stage freeze it, and it is ready to go. Just cover them up well, and you can pop them straight in the oven from frozen, and just add at least 10 minutes onto the time of about 30 minutes, I've said, to cook these if they're cooked from fresh. But otherwise, you can have these on Christmas Day as your kind of starter, and they're just super duper and great. And if you haven't eaten them all, you can freeze them afterwards as
How
well.
long would they last for, Suze, in the freezer?
It's up to a month is usually the guidelines for
Okay.
freezing foods, and then eat them within that time.
Okay.
But they don't make it to the freezer in my house.
They don't make it.
They do not make it into the freezer.
That's a good sign.
It is a good sign. So yeah, so just take care, because you don't want any like pale.
How's
wee
everybody
bits.
getting on at home? I can see plenty of people feverishly brushing away there. Hopefully, John, you left yourself enough egg to do this. Any other questions or comments? Is everybody doing well? Maeve, I see you hard at work there. Give us a thumbs up. Are you getting on okay?
Yeah, no, exactly. It's meant to be like that.
And John, how are you getting on? I see you there.
All
Doing
good.
all right?
Thumbs
up.
up.
Happy days.
Brilliant. So the final flourish is your poppy seeds.
It's just like vermicelli or something. It's just like you're dropping hundreds and thousands.
Yes, black ones.
Black ones, yeah.
Just gives it really nice texture, and it is, well, I just really like the flavour to them as well. But as I said, some people don't. So sesame seeds are just as good.
And would you put on sesame seeds before the oven as well?
Yep.
Nothing would ever be added afterwards. It's all
Pre.
cooked. Okay.
It's all super, super easy, and there
You
you
can
go.
spot the cat cook won't cook here. The simple questions, but I'm hoping there's others in the audience like me.
And it's okay, we're all friends here.
We're all friends, as we said. We're all friends. No judgment.
So that's it. As easy as that, you have made your sausage rolls in minutes, literally. So literally 20 minutes you have done and dusted. Now into your preheated oven. Sorry, hopefully you had your oven preheated. If not, wait for it to preheat and then put them in. Because if you put them in from not preheated, the pastry will start to melt, in the sense that the butter will ooze out. Hence why puff pastry works. So I'm going to now put this in.
Happy days. So in they go. How long have you had that preheating for?
Just whenever it had said, so 20 minutes for this oven. It
Yeah.
said 20 minutes and
Yeah,
it was
of course.
preheated. Okay, so
So we're going to have to check in on the pole, I fear, at this stage. I know I could see her coming with the pole in her eyes. So, folks, we want to get a sense at this stage if you're going to indulge me in the brownies or the salmon. So have we got a sense of results? Where do I get up closer to this monitor and see how we're getting on? Do you know what? I'm happy with that result. I'm going to tick that result, and heaven, leftover chocolate brownies. I am delighted. Folks, thank you so much. This is my early Christmas present. Delighted. They look so good. I mean, I'm sure these are lovely.
don't
And
celebrate
each
yet.
to
We
their
haven't
own
finished.
taste.
Haven't finished yet.
Taste, should I say. But these brownies do look a treat. And I think, as you know, we're sort of the theme today as well is all about using leftovers. And I don't know about you guys, but I always have tubs of sweets. So putting them to use is definitely going to be at least practical use for them.
So is it the brownies?
It's the brownies, Suze.
It's the brownies.
It's the brownies.
Right.
It's a true story. It's a legitimate vote.
Okay, so
People have spoken.
we will get the brownies in, and then we will then make the cranberry dipping sauce afterwards, because we might as well get these in and enjoy them.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so give me a couple of minutes to move all the ingredients over, and
it's back to me. So, folks, I am keen to check on you guys at home. How you getting on? Who is going to talk to me and let me know how things are going? Who's cooking along? Have we got some questions here? Am I calling the poll? No, I'm not. I hope at home you got to see that poll. It was legitimate. True story. We have another question. Bought in smoked salmon. It's not going to be used. So you have got all the instructions. Suze has got a lovely list of all the steps required to make the smoked salmon. And no doubt with that trusty recipe at hand, you will make a delight at home. I'm delighted that I don't have to eat it here. True story. But the chocolate brownies, like, they are fabulous. And when you see the top and the use of all the other sweeties, I know everybody's going to enjoy being talked through that by Suze. Any other questions, folks? Who's going to talk to me and let me know how you're getting on? Who else is in their kitchen and cooking up a storm? Stephen, how are you getting on there? Have you had the rest of those sweets? No, he's laughing. I keep an eye on you. You're depleting that raffle. It's going to be bias. There's still...
Right, so if you've kept another bit of eggshell, scoop it out. The eggshell attracts eggshell. Genuinely, it does. So if you go with the eggshell to try to capture the other eggshell, it will stick to it. Genuinely, it does work.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
no, it won't
dear. You've got a tub of sweets. You'll be grand, Stephen. You won't go hungry.
So for the people who wanted to make the smoked salmon, I will talk through it, because once I get this brownie mix in, which is really quick, I will talk through all the steps of the smoked salmon, because we will have time to just talk through it.
Yeah, I think that'll be good, because I'm sure there'll be people that are disappointed that I wasn't put through my hell and horror, and they'll be genuinely interested in that. So yeah, please do talk us through that next.
No worries. So just let me set up. Okay, so preheat your oven to the 180 that I've said on the ingredients, and the recipe. Have a tin lined, a brownie tin or a cake tin, it does not matter, or to cut down time totally, you can use bun tins, and it works really, really well in that as well, and so therefore you can use bun cases, so that works well too. So I've lined this already, and was that someone someone's chatting?
Who have we got chatting to us? Somebody got a question? Or we maybe just caught their conversation at home?
Yeah.
Never worry.
Okay, so the brownies, super simple. Your key ingredients, your butter again. So there isn't a quicker way to melt this here. You can put it in the microwave. So I've put it into bain-marie style. So some water here. Turn on your heat. If I can get this on, this is where I fight with it again. And literally, if I can get it to work.
Is it playing ball? It's behaving. It knows better, Suze. It knows better.
It knows better. So you want to soften your butter, or it's okay to be melted as well. So if you have put it into the microwave and it has been blasted for a little bit too long, then that's fine as well. So all you want to do is have the butter soft or melted, but not lumpy, like cold, because it just doesn't work then. Okay, so
is that just normal butter?
It is salted butter.
Salted butter.
So as I said, you can use normal unsalted with a pinch of salt. Salt counteracts the real sweetness from the sugar. That's why you'll see loads of recipes that will say unsalted butter but a pinch of salt. So just use salted butter. For me, that makes sense.
Yep.
And it works exactly the same. So I'm just softening this butter. Your other ingredients are 100 grams of melted dark chocolate, and it has to be at least 70%, because it gives it that really intense and really delicious kind of chocolatey hit that you want.
And is that like a cooking chocolate, or would you recommend, like a fancier chocolate if we have like a nice little bar of Lind or whatever in our cupboard?
No, you don't have to, just as long as it's 70%, because you can buy, supermarket kind of brands at the 70% for like 80p. It's really, really cheap, or even cheaper. So that's what I would go with.
Can others work? You know, the likes of your Dairy Milks Galaxies or
But it has to be the
77%, of
7%,
course.
so
Okay.
not dairy milk.
Okay.
Because they'll be really, really sickly sweet then.
Okay.
Then we have our cocoa powder at 30 grams and then 90 grams of plain flour. But we need a sieve. That is really crucial for this because you don't want lumps of flour, lumps
Yeah.
of cocoa
Okay.
floating around the place. Then we've got 2 eggs, and then we have your lovely
Chockies.
chocolate, and then also brown sugar and caster sugar. If you don't have any brown sugar in the house, then substitute the 25 grams for extra caster sugar. But the brown sugar actually gives it a real caramel taste, and it gives it that kind of like toffee kind of hit to it. So that's why I have used it. But if you don't, it's fine. Caster sugar, just improvise. It's no problem.
And your bowl of chockies here, that can be, as you said earlier, from any of those tins of sweets or,
Or
tubs of sweets.
Last night I actually made one from a giant bar of Mondero.
Oh,
I just crumbled
wow.
it all up.
Oh.
Or Terry's chocolate orange. There's
Yum.
so many different options. So just bear with me here and let this melt away. Be careful, it's really hot as well. But if you have a microwave, you will have this done and dusted in 30 seconds.
How long would
I
you
do
put
not.
that in for? 30 seconds? Is that
30 seconds and it will be completely liquid. Pretty much like this.
Yeah.
Like, well, with not the lump.
Is everybody getting on okay at home? Any other questions or comments coming through? So we've got the brownies. Comments, people are happy to see the brownies, which is great. And I can see plenty in the kitchen. I'm delighted there's so many cooking
there
along. And
actually?
yeah, and families busy. Everybody we're getting the screen scrolled through to see, and some people tuning in, no doubt taking notes, just enjoying the fun. Happy days. Oh, look at that. Busy bees in the kitchen, everybody.
I love it.
Happy days. We're delighted.
Any more
Great.
questions
Any
there?
other questions there? Not at the minute. Just let us know and we will continue to check in on that. But brilliant to see everybody being busy or indeed just taking stock and getting the notes down for the festive season.
Right, I'm going to take that off the heat now.
So is that all melted down? No lumps. We're all good.
Nearly all lump free, but I don't want it to be completely molten lava like. I just want it to be melted because otherwise, yet again, it
Can you
changes.
overcook it? You know, if you put butter in the microwave for too long, can you overdo it?
You split it then. So you
Oh.
get clarified butter. So the top one is the clarified butter that you would use for like Indian cooking. So
Oh,
that's like the
wow.
ghee. Yeah.
Feel like I'm in science class.
And then you get the solids at the bottom then. But yes, so therefore I've now got it all lovely and melted. At this stage then I add the sugar. So you've got your caster sugar and then you've got your brown sugar all in there. And if you have had your sugar sitting out for a while, it might have crystallized a little bit. So having a sieve is also really good to just break down any lumps. It's one of my top tips. Because you don't want grainy brownies. There you go, and I knew that my sugar had been sitting out for a little bit, and my kitchen's always really hot, so it will have absorbed some of the moisture around it. So yet again, crystallized. So that's fine because you can do this and you can break
It's still
down.
good to use, but just, I suppose,
Oh no, it's
caution, use the sieve.
completely,
Yeah.
completely good to use, but yet again, you know, large sugar crystals,
Yeah, of course.
you don't really want that, so I'm happy enough at that stage. Right, so at this stage you're just mixing these together.
And in terms of, obviously, we're using leftover chockies for this particular one.
Yeah.
As you're going through, fill us in on any other top tips you have for using leftover food at Christmas.
You're probably going to have lots of turkey, so I've made turkey fried rice, turkey and stuffing pie. Sounds a bit strange, but I love it. And then you've got like turkey pasta. Like literally, the options are endless. And I would then make like I love Brussels sprouts, so I would make that into.
Oh, Suze, controversial.
I would make that into a soup, like a bacon and Brussels sprout soup. It is delicious. It really is.
Each
yes,
to their own. Each to their own.
Sinead is not
I'm the
very
plain
into that.
Jane.
Not very into that at all. So then, once you've got this butter and sugar mixture, you can add your eggs. Okay, and just straight in.
No Brussels sprouts in there. Happy
no
days.
Brussels sprouts in there. Okay, so if your butter was actually just at room temperature and was nice and soft, this will be a lot thicker consistency. Don't worry, that's absolutely fine. Okay, that's nice and well mixed in. Then we are going to add your vanilla extract. I always use vanilla extract, not essence, because that is actually the real form and it actually gives it the true vanilla hit.
Will either work? If you
Either
can't get
would
one?
work, but
Okay.
then the essence just doesn't have that long lasting kind of flavor. That's why the
Okay.
extract is slightly dear. Buy it, it's worth it.
Okay.
Okay.
It'll last a while in the cupboard as well.
Oh,
typically, those
absolutely,
things. Yeah,
completely. It will last.
It's a staple.
Exactly. So at this stage, at this liquid mixture stage, then you add your melted chocolate. So yet again, you have that luxury of putting it in the microwave. I had to put it on the bain-marie. I'm going to melt it a little bit again, just to
Make
get
sure
it
that it's, yeah.
fully melted because it's sticking to the side. So let me bring that up.
So your
Let me
dark
just-
chocolate, 70%, any brand at all, just the 70% being the key.
Just the 70% is key.
Okay. Everybody getting on okay at home there, folks? How are we all doing? Oh, sausage rolls are smelling good, Jared. Happy days. If that's Jared, I think up at Tyrone. Good man yourself. Brilliant. And Claire. Oh, hi, Claire. Can you use, is it Demerara sugar?
Technically you could, but I'll give it a crunch. I'll give it a real crunch, but I would still say use the caster sugar if you don't have the soft brown sugar.
Okay. Did anybody look at the time we put the sausage rolls in? Suze, keep us right on timings. When did we put the sausage rolls in?
10 past. Well, on my clock it was 10 past, so. But yet again, your oven might work faster. I know it sounds a bit strange, and you might have put it at the top shelf, you might have put it in the middle or the bottom, so it will take different times. Go with the color of the pastry. The sausage meat will only take like the 30 minutes maximum to cook. So if you want a browner kind of like crust on the pastry, then leave it in for longer. But otherwise, at the 30 minutes, it's completely cooked.
Okay.
If you have preheated the oven, if we're being safe here, completely safe. Right, my chocolate is now lovely and melted again. And I am going to transfer this into my lovely mixture.
Oh, it's smelling so good. Delighted that the brownies won.
So directly in.
Is speed of importance here when we're adding these two things together? Is there any?
Just as long as one is not hotter than the other. Does that make sense? It can slightly curdle, but
Yeah.
everything's pretty much at the same temperature because I've only just heated this through and I gave the butter and sugar some time to cool down there.
Of course, yeah.
So literally you want to quickly, and you get this really kind of gloopy but very satisfying, really rich kind of chocolate mixture. I don't like waste, as you know, so I'm going to scrape.
Are you going to lick that bowl?
Pretty much.
Is that what's going to happen
Pretty
here?
much. I'm going to use up every bit of chocolate that I can get. So
Right, where do I see? You get that sorted, and we'll see if there's any other questions. Okay, is it okay that we use a whisk to cream the butter and sugar as per the recipe rather than melt it? Yeah, okay.
absolutely, no problem.
Super stuff. Still lots of people to guess the number of sweets. Folks, don't forget about that all-important raffle. So make sure you're messaging Stephen with your guess. There's probably very little at this stage left. He's been nibbling away. I can see you, Stephen. And, there is a leader. Always give us an insight. There is a leader, but no one's guessed the right number yet. So everybody is still in with a shot. Maybe a stupid question. Never from our lovely chair, Maeve. But creaming sugar and butter together, is there any technique to it? Hers maybe looking a bit like breadcrumbs.
Oh. Then
Is that good?
her butter is too cold then. So put it in the microwave for at least 10 seconds, let it soften, and then you'll be able to cream it.
Okay, so revisit that, Maeve. Hope
If
that
it's like
little tip
breadcrumbs,
helped.
no.
I can't hear anything while I whisk the butter and sugar.
I mean, hear anything?
I'm wondering. Maybe let us know, Linda, what you mean. I don't know if there's...
Is it us, or do you mean yourself?
Is it ourselves? Let us know.
Okay, right. Well, at this stage, we've
Okay.
got the lovely chocolatey mixture. You're ready for the sieving of the cocoa powder and the flour. So literally get your sieve,
Super. And we have a question about flour now.
Yep.
Where does the flour go in? So this is the flour stage.
The flour and the cocoa powder stage. So I always put them in together because it's just easy to measure it all at once.
And we have a wee question about the competition. If anybody was late, Stephen Osborne from Hunter Savage has a fabulous raffle for a £75 gift voucher for Dean's if you guess the number of sweets in his jar. So we might kindly hold that up. There's very little left. We've been teasing him. He's been eating them all throughout the session. But if he holds those up, anybody that was late, you can guess the number and potentially win that fabulous prize of the gift voucher. Just message him directly your guess.
Right, so we're at the stage now we're just folding in the flour. So you've heard people who say that you should knock out the flour or knock out the air. This actually doesn't matter because we want gooey brownies. That's the key to brownies. You want gooey, chocolatey brownies. You don't want a cake. That's the difference between a cake and a brownie.
Gooey is good. Yeah, I think that is the all-important difference of a good brownie, the gooiness.
Yeah, because you can get cakey brownies, which isn't a brownie. It's a cake. It's a chocolate cake. This...
Suzie has spoken.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, so this is what you're wanting. A really kind of dark chocolate, gloopy mixture. Okay? That's why I use a spatula, because you can go right down to the bottom of your bowl and mix everything together. In my recipe, I have said to add 50 grams of white chocolate because I really like chocolate as well. But you don't have to add it because we are adding a lot of chocolate here. It's up to you. I really kind of like the contrast, and we like chocolate. Yeah?
We love chocolate.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. I want you to rewind and touch on the eggs. Again, what happened with the eggs? When did they go in?
The eggs went in, right, so you go butter, sugar, eggs.
Butter, sugar, eggs. Hopefully that catches you up there, Claire.
But if you have missed that step, you can still add it in this stage. It's fine. It's absolutely fine because we are not thinking about aerating the mixture. Just wing it. I have failed many times. It still works.
It still works.
It still works.
Foolproof.
Okay, so this is 100 grams. I'm only going to put 50 of this in because then it is really overkill.
It's never overkill.
It is overkill. So, lovely kind of contrast with the white flecks through it. That's it. That's your brownie mix made.
Amazing.
If you don't have any other chocolate, or even if you don't have chocolate, you can still make a really lovely chocolate brownie with just 100 grams of dark chocolate. That's it. You can really indulge with that. And then we just wing it in.
You wing it in. We have a question coming in about C in the jar again. I'm wondering, Stephen, can you put a little picture of that into the chat so that it's there as a constant, or indeed maybe we'll get an opportunity to come back for you to show that, or hold it up at your screen for anybody that's still to guess the number of chockies. Oh, look at that. Oh, Suze, it's looking great.
I know. And it
so
smells.
Good. It smells
amazing.
insane. I'm sure folk are disappointed at this stage it's not in person so that they can be here and smelling, but no doubt all their kitchens are smelling as good.
Amazing. So
no leftovers. I love that.
no leftovers. Like literally scrape the
Scrape
bowl
it
clean. Okay, use your spatula and you're just pushing it out to the sides. Don't worry, you don't have to be.
Yeah, how neat do you have to be with this?
Not at all, because it grows, it oozes, and just let it be. Literally, just let it be.
Sort of let it level itself out. You're
yeah,
just
because it's got
guiding
enough kind of you're guiding it. It's got enough kind of like, sort of liquidity to sort of just go, you know, and just ooze out into the sides.
Bit like lava, just ooze out.
Exactly. So I'm gonna wash my wee hands here.
Yeah, happy days. Everybody getting on all right? Looks amazing. Are you jealous, Maeve? Yeah, it's pretty good. But I know you're cooking at home, so you and the boys will be having a blast. Your own festive, fun party.
Okay. Now, you can put it in the oven just like this, or you can add your chocolate. So, this was celebrations. No rules to here, just wing them on.
And literally no rhyme or reason, just as many as you can fit in.
Absolutely.
Away you go. And does it matter the filling? You know, should you avoid like caramels or anything that you think is going to
only if
melt?
You don't like them.
Okay.
The caramel
so it's whatever
makes
goes.
it really wet. It makes it really gooey. It's really good with the caramel. I've put Twixes in there because it gives it an extra crunch.
So literally anything can go in.
Anything. You could even put biscuits on top here.
Oh wow. How did they not melt? That's what I wonder, because obviously I've seen the finished product, and you can still see the outline of the sweets. You know what you're going to munch into, and it looks great. How do they not just completely like cave?
They don't melt because if you don't stir them in. If you stirred them into the really hot kind of molten lava brownie mixture, then they will dissolve in a sense and disperse. But because they've been heated through and it's just the outer coating, then they'll just sit in that shape, and you need to let them cool and then cut into them, and then they won't go. And that's why they keep
top
their shape.
tip then. Okay, super stuff.
So put as many as you can squeeze in. I'm trying to find room for all of these now.
Maeve is admitting that she's actually eating all the sweets as opposed to cooking them. Maeve Hunt, put those in the brownies. Do not gobble them all up.
Okay, how many more?
Oh, how many more? Literally, she's
I'm going
every inch.
I can't.
Prime real estate. There's no like. You're gonna have to eat it, Suze.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to eat it.
I can't even take it off you. Damn COVID.
There you go. Easy peasy. Straight in the oven.
Awesome. Oh, it honestly smells so good. And I love the fact you can use anything. And I didn't realize that you are adventurous in terms of, like, as you say, like aero bars, any of those sort of big treat bars that you get. You can just crumple up into chunks and don't mix it in, and it'll still stay intact. It's a bit like the top of those fancy cheesecakes. You see the big.
Exactly.
Yeah, all the big, yummy sweets.
Okay. Excuse my eating here.
Happy days. So they're in. How long for?
They are going to be in for 20 minutes, and these ones I definitely will time, so bear with me.
We're at 22 on that clock, far wall from us, so...
Okay. So we might just be over, but we have the finished product. My top tips here, because we might just go over a little bit.
Sure.
Is when these come out at the 20-minute mark, but yet again, if you like gooey brownies, 20 minutes is your key at the 180, preheated. If you like them slightly drier or just more cake-like, leave them in. Leave them in for at least 2 to even 5 minutes. So the 25-minute mark will be your completely kind of more dense but not as gooey. But your top tip for the gooiness, at 20 minutes, if you have your tin out, it's going to be roasting hot. Have your oven gloves on. Tap it 3 times. It sounds really silly, but air bubbles have actually been created. You want to knock all of those out, and that's how you get that really dense, fudgy brownie. So knock those air bubbles out.
And are you taking it out, or you're just knocking it? Well,
so literally, say this is the tin. So literally, I'm just going dropping it, and literally 3 times, and you're being quite violent with it, and that's knocking all the air bubbles out, and then you get that really gooey, fudgy. As you can see, like you can actually see the kind of gooey lines of my brownie. So that's what you want if you like that. If not, cook them for a little bit longer, and you don't even need to then knock out the air if you want them like that. So, to top off our sausage rolls.
Yes, let's not forget about our yummy sausage rolls that are brewing.
Yep, we are just wanting to make a lovely cranberry dipping sauce to just keep it into the festive kind of feel. So, to jazz up your cranberry sauce, yes, a jar of cranberry sauce, some cinnamon, some brown sugar, and your orange to give it that real Christmassy kind of feel. So, I am going to put on my lovely hob again, which doesn't like
some
me.
compliments coming in here, Susie, while you fight with the cooker there.
Yeah, I know.
Looks fantastic. And Emma, loving the banter. She wants to know, are you available on the 25th?
No
you doing
props.
anything?
No props.
We'll negotiate fees. We'll get her to your house. Up in Dungannon there, Emma. Linda, still whisking sugar and butter. Missed the last 10 minutes. Don't worry, you whisk away. And Susie's very good at jumping back and forward and keeping everybody on track. So we're just moving on to our cranberry here for our sausage rolls.
Wing everything in. Absolutely everything. Cranberry sauce, sugar, cinnamon. You're going to grate the zest of the orange in. You might like more, you might like less, so I'm going to leave that completely up to you. I like it really orangey, so I'm going to zest the whole orange, and then I'm going to put the whole orange juice in.
So would you say half of orange if you wanted on the milder side?
Yep, absolutely. Okay. Half and half. But if you want that kind of, I just really love the orange and cranberry together. It just makes it really Christmassy. I love Christmas.
You can smell it already. It's just total Christmas vibes. It's like we're in the Christmas market.
Oh.
I'd have sad times. But we're still having fun. We're still having fun.
Having fun. Okay.
Oh, great. And lots more positive feedback. People are going to be trying it over Christmas. And Zara's pointed out there, yes, rightly so, we should have said been recorded, so you can absolutely watch it back and catch up and hopefully enjoy cooking with friends and family over Christmas. Within guidelines, of course, we should say.
Absolutely. So just going to get the zest of the
So that is simmering away and smelling really, really good. And our sausage rolls are still cooking.
Yep.
And our brownies are in. They're 5 minutes in, so everything is going well. Everybody at home is still busy. I can see they're feverishly running around their kitchens. Happy days. Everybody's getting on good. Anybody got any comments, feedback? Anybody want to ask anything direct to us live at all? These are all getting on okay. Super stuff. Oh, I'd say you're managing grand now. You're able to multitask the very best, if I know you. It's a quick sip. Good man, John. You're getting on great there. We should have had a hat. Look, Suze, we're not this festive. Oh, good. Don't drink it all at once now. You're making me jealous.
So with the cranberry sauce, let it come up to the boil. And once it comes up to the boil, it's pretty much ready. But if you like it thicker, let it simmer for longer. But if you think it's gone too far, then add a little bit of water. So it's up to you. Give it a taste. I like it quite kind of like thick.
That is orangey. You can definitely tell you
I
like
love
your
it.
orange.
I
It's
love
so
it.
orangey
I
here.
love it. And some people really might not like it, but I really love it like this.
No, but it's great that you can cater just to your own preferences,
Yep.
obviously. Yeah.
Absolutely. And if you don't like cinnamon, don't put it in. I have a friend who really hates cinnamon, so just avoid it. It's no big deal.
Super stuff. So the consistency there at the minute, it's almost like a really soft jam.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. Yep. So I'm just going to let that come up to the boil.
And do you bring it right to the boil then?
Yep. Right to the boil, because you just want, because there's a little bit there of sugar, brown sugar,
Yep.
just yet again give that kind of caramelly kind of like
Okay.
taste to it. So bringing it up to a boil.
What's too far? Is there a too far with
There's
it?
a too far to the point where it's literally like rock solid, like really stiff jam,
Okay,
like
yeah.
you know, jam that's completely set. This
And-
is a dipping sauce, so you want it to be loose enough that
Yeah, so
you can
fluid
put
enough. Sure.
the sausage rolls in
Okay.
and enjoy it that way.
And is that a low heat? You know, you brought that.
Yeah, so it went low and then to high then, so this is on
Yeah.
nearly at the highest
Okay.
setting. So this is pretty much, this is done now, and I'm going to give it a quick taste so I know whether I need anything else. So yet again, be careful, molten lava.
Ooh, yeah.
Nope, that for me is really
so
good.
literally your hands are completely immune to heat, as is your taste. Your tongue.
Absolutely. I'm going to actually add a little bit of water here because it has got quite thick for me.
Okay, so yeah, it is keeping that happy medium because it's a dipping sauce. You can just
Yep.
add water as you see fit. Is
Yep.
everybody getting on okay at home there? Suze, can you take a question? Anything we can do with leftover cheese boards?
No.
Oh, look at that reaction.
Yeah, depending on what cheeses you have, you can make lots of fondues, pastas. I love putting the cheese all into pretty much a pot and slowly baking it in the oven, like a ceramic pot, and then you can just dip into it. Or else you can hollow out a lovely bread loaf, you know, like a cob loaf, stick the cheese in, and it'll all melt. And yet again, it's a easy rip fondue thing. As I said, depends on the cheese. Otherwise, pastas, lots of grilled cheese. I love grilled cheese, and I made a really good grilled cheese on my show over the summer. So check that out, and it's worth using 4 cheeses. That's what I used.
Sarah doesn't reckon there's going to be any cheese left in her house. I well know that with Sarah. Fair play for your honesty. Oh, Jared's making a mess in his house. He's going to be cleaning for a week. Is there any tips on that? How do we keep things clean? Or you just embrace it? It's Christmas.
Embrace it. My husband despairs, but that's why he says I cook, and then he kind of follows after me, because it's literally, I am the Tasmanian devil. It literally is chaos, but I do clean up, but I just need to take my time, because obviously that was my kind of expression, my
This is-
artistic expression of just going mad. And then I
Absolutely.
slowly need to just have a cup of tea and then just
Yeah.
work my way around the surfaces to tidy up. But
Well, this is an express lesson tonight, so everybody I'm sure
Exactly.
is whizzing around. You can take your time and keep on top of it all. But look, it's Christmas. Don't be hard on yourselves, folks.
exactly. So that's it for me. This is my cranberry sauce ready to go. You might want it thinner, so add more water, or yet again, if you want it thicker, let it bubble away for even longer.
So right to the boil, tip out, and
Yep.
then you let that cool. Do you like put it fridge or literally let that settle itself?
No, I like, because the sausage rolls will be out, I literally serve it warm. I really love it kind of warm.
Oh wow!
But you
okay.
can have it cold or whatever way you like it. Like, you can even treat it like a chutney, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
But otherwise, I really like it being quite warm with the kind of warm sausage roll. So,
And how long do these things keep, Suze? The likes of your
if you
even.
put that into the fridge in an airtight container or a jar, it keeps for 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean?
Brilliant.
It
Okay.
was already a jar of cranberry sauce, so you've just opened it. So just follow those guidelines. These are our pre-made ones. Our other ones pretty much are ready to come out. Yeah, so I'm gonna have a wee look.
Yeah, have a
Yeah,
little
is that
look.
okay?
Let's see how everybody else is getting on at home while Suze does a little check. We have a question, Suze. Any
Yep.
spoilers you can let us in on? Any recipe books coming out?
We have there might be stuff. There's things as proposal level, so there's not much else I can say. I just need to hope BBC do commission another series, but that's in the pipeline. So hopefully the proposal is out. So hopefully they like it enough to produce and commission another one in the new year. Book, nobody wants mine.
Oh, don't be saying that.
No, I've
2020's been a
tried.
funny year. 2021 could be
No.
your year.
I know, but no, nobody has. I've been rejected quite a few times for a book.
Well,
so.
as long as you do plenty of these little special booklets for us, we're loving life, so we love it.
So my sausage rolls are slightly paler, but yet again, I had put them on the bottom shelf, so they are cooked. I'm going to bring them out. They're just slightly paler than that, but they're fully cooked. So if I wanted to, I could up the heat to make them browner, but obviously the brownies are already in there. So I'm just going to take them out because they're fully cooked, and I'll let you.
Yeah,
Have a
let us
look.
have a see. Absolutely. So people's kitchens are smelling fab. Happy days, Maria. Delighted to hear that. Have we got Linda? Are you having a wee bit of sound issue there? Maybe somebody in the background can drop in a wee note to you. Make sure you're getting on all right. If you have any specific questions, if you've missed something, pop them in here and we'll see if we can address those. And oh, Sarah, ever the messer. What pays better, Suzie? BBC or accountancy?
Accountancy.
Accountancy. You've all chosen the right career. I'm delighted. I didn't pay her to say that.
Genuinely.
This is why I use her in the chartered career chats. Genuine ambassador. Choose chartered, folks.
Absolutely. But there you go. As you can see, even the edges, you can see the sausage meat, it's cooked, fully cooked. It's just paler. So if you like it browner, pop them back into the oven and they will be the colour that you want them. But you can see the flakes of pastry. It's all there. It is cooked. And there is
Amazing.
ones. These are ones I've made earlier.
And as
And
you
there.
say, that's your portion control. Those slices, you use that as your cutting then? sort
Yes.
of line?
So
Okay.
like, sort of one portion and mine.
Yeah. Do your children get the two ends and you take the centre?
Absolutely. They can just get that little bit. That's enough for them.
Happy days. Has anybody else got any produce they want to show us yet? Is everybody maybe just lagging a little bit behind? Which I wouldn't blame you, because I'm standing here doing nothing per se, and I definitely couldn't keep up. BBC's just for the love of cooking. Absolutely. Any tips for turkey leftovers, Suze? What about that?
Yes, so kind of covered on it. So as
Yep.
I said, turkey leftovers, fried rice, noodles, stir fry, a turkey and stuffing pie, which I love. So you're
Yep.
just crumbling everything in and make like a white sauce, and it is so tasty. So you can use a short crust pastry or a puff pastry on top, and it is just delicious with some cranberry sauce left over, and I do shredded Brussels sprouts with bacon.
And I heard you talk about pizzas at one point. What do you do with pizzas?
So I would make like leftover kind of pizzas with like cranberry and brie, your cheese board, and some bits of turkey. or gammon, whatever you want. So therefore you make a really easy pizza dough. You can even make like a soda foil base, which there's no yeast or anything, and add your toppings to it. So easy, but so tasty, but you're using up your leftovers, and there's your solid carb.
Solid carbs.
Your solid carb.
Staple Christmas carbs. Tick.
Exactly.
Happy days. Oh, well, that is looking amazing. Any other questions, folks? Conscious of time, we're coming up to near the end of the session. Suzie, what is the best way to do sprouts? Any tips on that?
Yeah, so it's released tomorrow. I am doing a live tomorrow for Safe Food. So we are doing sliced Brussels sprouts. You kind of steam them first, and then you fry off some bacon lardons and with some chestnuts. So cook those all in the lovely kind of bacon kind of juices, and then you toss back the Brussels sprouts, and it is so tasty.
If you like Brussels sprouts.
No, my kids love that. They absolutely devour like the whole big side of it.
You have your kids convinced to eat everything, but I know you hide loads of stuff. You're like into this sneaky veg. So
maybe, but they don't need to hide. I don't need to hide them anymore, because with them helping me, they've kind of really embraced it now, and they're kind of asking. Like my son asked he said, checking there was salad in his sandwich the other day. I laughed my head off. I was like, yes, there is.
Oh, he has been well schooled. I see them on your Insta feed now, so they're properly embracing it. And anybody with kids there at home, it's a great way to get them involved in activities over the holidays, because I know it's crazy times. Crazy times. So get them in the kitchen, give them a job to do. Would you involve them in the likes of making all this, especially the brownies and the sausage rolls?
They love making all of this, because it's really tactile, and they just love making. And if they make a mess, then so be it. But they've created, and that's all I kind of care about. And that's where I don't mind mess, because they've really enjoyed themselves, and they can say, I made that, and they did, and it's really lovely to be.
And they're so proud of themselves, I'm sure.
They're so proud.
Before we start to finish up, Suze, any tips or anything you want to mention about making the salmon phyllo tarts that I didn't get to eat? Awful.
Oh, it's so awful. So for the salmon tartlets, it is so easy. So if you want to make these in advance, yet again, you can, and you can put them in the freezer. That's what I would recommend, because they will go soggy. So I would make them in advance and then reheat them again from frozen. So what you would do is you fry off the onions with the leeks till they're really soft, and it's a really low kind of heat in the butter. Once they're really soft, put them to a side. Then you put in your cream cheese, like the whole tub, so the normal branded one or whatever, but 180 grams of it, or 200, it does not really matter. Mix that all through and chop up 200 grams of smoked salmon through it, the zest of a lemon, and then half the juice of a lemon, and it just gives it that kind of kick and takes the kind of fishiness as people might think smoked salmon has. Mix that all through. You've cut up your phyllo sheets into 10 by 10 squares, but have melted butter, and you're literally brushing each sheet, and you're just pressing them down into a bun tin or a muffin tin, and literally layer on layer. And it looks excessive, but you won't use up all the butter that I've told you to use. You just would prefer to have more than less, but make sure everything's coated. Then you put everything on top. That's it. I use an ice cream scoop to get level kind of amount into each one, and then bake. And that's it. Once they're nice and golden, that's it, fully cooked. Everything is already cooked in it. So you just want the pastry to go brown, ready to go. Sprinkle some chives. Easy peasy.
And what did you say about freezing them?
So literally at this stage, like I would have them slightly paler than that.
Okay.
And then just store them in like a large Tupperware box so they don't crack.
Yeah.
But don't worry if they do. It is phyllo pastry, but there's enough pastry around it for you to enjoy it anyway. And just put them straight into the oven, your preheated oven, and they will literally come back to life again.
And how long would you need to cook them for? Do they need to defrost overnight as
no,
well?
No, cook from frozen.
Cook from
frozen, like 20 minutes should pretty much do it. You'll be able to see, you'll be able to put a thermometer probe into it, or, cut it open, and once it is piping hot, yet again, this is completely cooked through. So just as long as it's fully reheated through your normal guidelines, it's done.
Happy days. How would you serve that? As it's on itself?
On itself, like, I would...
Suze would just gobble it up.
Do you know what I mean? You can make them daintier, you can make them smaller, you can make them more into parcels, that kind of thing, and enjoy it like more of like a canapé, but just eat it.
Yeah.
You enjoy it with a salad. It's really lovely with like a side salad. That is a really good starter as well.
Sure.
Really lovely dressed salad.
Happy days. Looks good. Well, we have a few more minutes here on our side. So how's our brownies coming along?
We've got 2 minutes. 18 minutes is just too little.
Yeah. Oh no, that's fine. Let's check in everybody at home. How are we getting on? Sausage rolls are looking well there. What other filling for phyllo tarts? Any other thoughts on that, Suze? What other fillings for tarts?
Cheese.
Cheese
is one.
Cheese and cheese.
If you have also sort of chutneys around the place, like a really lovely kind of chutney at the bottom of it, and then again, whatever cheese you have is really lovely. Or you can go for a Mediterranean feel, so lots of veg. I would roast the veg first because that takes out the moisture, because you don't want the soggy bottom on the bottom of the phyllo pastry, and then mix it in a bit of pesto. It is delicious. And then place it into the phyllo tart and bake just normally, because everything's cooked through.
We have a tip coming in actually from one of our members. Lime juice on Brussels is lovely. Have you tried that?
Oh, I have not. I will try that. Never even heard of it.
Oh, there we go. We are sharing tips back and forth. Proper collaboration, two-way. Love that. And everything is sounding great. Lots of positive feedback. Question: do you butter the bun case first?
No, because you have already buttered all the sheets of phyllo. So just once you've done that, just as long as each sheet has been buttered, it doesn't have to be on both sides, because the contact of them on each other, they should, come through the other side. But if you want to butter the tin, it's no problem.
So everybody is getting on well. Lots of busy kids as well.
I know, I love that.
I'm loving seeing that. Maeve, how are you getting on? I can see you there. Thumbs up. Super. Everything is in order. You haven't burnt down that kitchen. I know you're a good cook. Oh, wow. Oh, look at this. Amazing. Oh, it looks great, Maeve. Who else have we got? John's still busy there, drinking away at that wine, multitasking, oven gloves on, pretending he's doing something. Good man.
Loving this.
Everybody is busy bees. Happy days. Loving seeing that. Oh, wow.
Look at those.
Oh, look at John there with...
Look at his face.
He's delighted with himself.
There,
Fair
look
play
at
to you, John. Well, how did you get on, John? Come on and chat to us.
A burning...
That's good. I'm sure you'll struggle through, John. You'll have to just chop up, share it with the family. They'll be delighted.
Right.
Anybody else brave enough to show us your creations? These are all getting on well. There's lots of business. I'm loving. Oh wow! Look, here we got. Yeah. Oh wow. They are amazing. Look at those. Fabulous, guys. That is absolutely amazing. And up there as well. Oh, you've got yours cut and all. Who's been already eating? Who's been munching?
Right.
Oh, and look at these as well. Oh, fab. And the family are stuck in. Oh, I'm loving seeing everybody getting involved with the kids. Hello, everybody. You are doing a great job.
Hi,
absolutely
guys.
amazing.
Brilliant.
Smelling good.
Anybody who put their brownies in at exactly the same time as my... Go get them now.
Brownies
they
are
ready.
Brownies are ready. Oh, guys, look at this. Look at this creation.
Phew, things have worked.
Things have worked. All is well. And honestly, the smell here is divine.
Okay, so at this really roasting stage, this is the secret tapping. So literally, sorry for the noise. 1, 2, 3. And you will actually see that it pretty much depresses, and you'll see that it sort of starts to sink into itself. And that's where you see in coffee shops and whatever, the brownies have those cracks, and that's what that is. It has been sort of flattened down, and it's now just going all gooey.
And that's important to do it as soon as it's out, straight away. Heat,
out.
bang. Okay.
Yeah. If you've forgotten, don't worry, that's been sitting there for 10 minutes. If you give it enough of a bang, watch it doesn't go flying though, it will work. So just trust yourself with the tin, but obviously have your oven mitt or tea towel. But literally, you can't do it enough times. It's fine. You can tap it as many times, but once the air bubbles have settled, that's it. Leave it to cool for at least 15 minutes, because literally this was liquid, completely liquid. You've melted 100 grams of chocolate in, and it is fluid.
And is that it? Good to go for
that's
cutting?
That's it. Good to go, and you get
and does that mean it's test time? Is it my heaven?
It is.
Oh,
heaven.
guys, thank you so much for voting.
However,
Oh.
no.
Jeez.
Let's just a little bit, just a wee bite, because I've made that. So just a little bit. So people can
It's
see
very messy.
there's other people who had voted for the salmon.
This
Do that
is
one.
not-
That's less messy.
This is not going to be gracious, people. This is not going to be gracious, but it's Christmas, and she did twist my arms behind the scenes to say, look, if people vote, you're going to have to be kind. Okay.
I trust you. It's really tasty.
It's pungent.
Oh, pungent. It is really tasty. If you like smoked salmon, it is really delicious.
I've no doubt this is delicious.
Okay, eat the brownie.
I have no doubt. I
Eat
want
the
the brownie.
Eat
I
the
want the
brownie. Oh, give me strength.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. Now we are talking. Oh my god.
Good.
Oh my god, guys, I hope your brownies are ready and we can celebrate this together. Who else has got brownies? Who is with me on the brownies? Is it a bit early days?
I highly recommend ice cream with it if you're that kind of hot, cold kind of person, or cream. Some people like cream. I prefer the ice cream, but it's really good. And these can be reheated just to give it an edge, you know, with just gooiness again, or just put it in the microwave for about like 10 seconds so it just softens, and then the ice cream.
How long will they keep for? Like, if you know, well, they're not going to last long in too many houses, to be honest. Ooh, look at that creation.
It lasts for 5 days. Look at those.
Look at those. That looks
That
good.
looks great. Guys, you've done amazingly.
Everybody has done so well.
Thank you
Any final
so much.
comments, folks, before we finish up here in the kitchen? So brave. Yes, I am. I will take that. Thank you so much. That was
You'll
a little,
live.
a little bit painful, but we're good. We're all in this together. She's a great cook. You know, it's going to be the best parcel I could have tasted. So we're happy with that.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Well, look, folks, that is it from us here live in the kitchen. Thank you so much for tuning in. A happy Christmas to you all and a happy new year. Hope 2021 brings lots of more positive things for us. Suze, any final words from you before we go back to our lovely chair, Maeve? And we're in this camera.
Thank you very much for having me on. I have had a blast with my old chum here. But yeah, have a lovely Christmas and a new year, and let's wish for a great 2021.
Let's wish for a great 2021. What a note to end on. Suze, thank you so much
You're
for coming along.
welcome.
It's been a delight to be back in action with you. So, two chartered accountants making a mess in the kitchen. Whoop, good times. Maeve, back to you, and thanks so much, everybody.
Thank
you
you.
for being so gracious and tuning
Thank
in
you.
and getting interactive. Thank you.